Hello, everyone. My name is Santanaka. Nice to meet you. Today, we will solve issues that may arise when migrating WordPress, specifically related to domain changes. The video presents a local environment example, but similar issues can occur when the IP address changes. I will now outline the actual steps we will follow. While the order of steps may vary slightly, I will thoroughly explain and demonstrate each one. Although the main focus was intended to be replacement through a custom script, the WP-CLI process ended up taking longer than expected. Let's get started. In the video, I will be working by remotely connecting to another PC at home, but it can also be done on Windows WL or a rental server.
Hello, what OS is the remote PC running?
Haratsunugi. The OS is Ubuntu 24.04. To compare with the custom script, I will check the installation method on WP-CLI's official site.
It looks like we can just copy and paste the commands.
Yes, it seems so. Let's go ahead and start entering these commands. This part just involves copying and pasting, so we will move through it quickly. When you enter the next command, you will be asked which version to install, so I will explain that briefly. I recommend entering the second command. This is because the first and third options explicitly install a specific version of PHP-CLI, so I have chosen the second command.
However, depending on the environment, a different message might be displayed.
That is true. I have not tested it yet, so I cannot say for sure, but it is possible. Now that the installation is complete, let us enter the previous command again to check.
I thought the second command would install version 8.2, but looking at the output, it seems version 8.3 is installed.
For this, I have provided a very detailed explanation in the link in the description, so please check it out if you are interested. This part also just requires copy-pasting, so we will move through it quickly. Lastly, we will verify that everything has been installed correctly. The environment information used by WP-CLI, such as the PHP and MySQL versions, will be displayed, marking the completion of the installation. With that, we are ready for the replacement process. But it is a good idea to back up the database just in case. Oh, it looks like an error has occurred. This error is due to the fact that this is a WordPress installation built with Docker, and we are not running the command from the directory where WordPress is installed.
It seems like using MySQL dump to export would work well. What do you think?
Yes, that is certainly a reliable method. However, this command is a WordPress-specific export command provided by WP-CLI. Since WordPress is built using Docker in this case, if you install WP-CLI inside the container and run the command from the directory where WordPress is installed, it will succeed. In other words, you just need to follow the same steps inside the container. But as a learning experience, I will create a Docker file so that a WP-CLI is ready to use when the container is built.
So, on a basic rental server where customization is difficult, as long as WP-CLI is installed, you can use the export command you mentioned earlier, right?
Yes, but WP-CLI needs to be either installable or already installed. In the meantime, I have finished creating the script that incorporates WP-CLI.
How about adding a plugin to the WordPress browser interface that allows you to perform replacements?
That is a valid option, but when doing large-scale replacements, there can be issues like errors or slow processing. You can also use phpMyAdmin for replacements, but that requires knowledge of SQL syntax. I have created a Docker file that incorporates WP-CLI, so I will go ahead and build it now. In reality, I also need to edit the Docker compose file, but I will skip that part here. While I do not think anyone will attempt it, all the details about this method are provided in the link in the video description, so please refer to that if necessary. The build is complete, so I will start up the container. Now, the WP-CLI export command should be available for use. After checking the container and status, I will export the database again. Oh, another error has occurred. This error is because WP-CLI is warning about running the command as the root user. So, I will change the command to run as the appropriate user. Oops, I made a mistake. It turns out I just mistyped the command.
It seems like you've been struggling quite a bit. Do you think you'll find a solution?
I am starting to feel a bit rushed, but technical issues are just part of the process. However, based on the current error, I have figured out the solution. It looks like the client needed to use MySQL dump is not installed in the container. So I will add it to the Docker filer and rebuild.
Wow, you're really persevering. If it were me, I might have given up by now.
Even I get frustrated sometimes, but as a freelancer, if you have been hired, you cannot just say repo could not do it. For those of you working as freelancers or independently, you need to have this level of commitment, so keep that in mind. All right, this time it should work.
Congratulations. It looks like the database backup was successful this time.
Thank you. The backup is saved in the directory where WordPress is installed, and since that is currently mounted to the host, I can check it without entering the container. Oh, and although we will not do it here, WP-CLI also has an import feature, so that is reassuring. Now that we have backed it up, let's go ahead and test the replacement function. Now, the WordPress site should be displaying correctly.
Oh, it's displaying properly. This is great.
Yes, but the real work starts here. I have not introduced the custom scripts functionality yet, and we still need to run through it. For now, I will change the URL of the currently working WordPress site to something random. Just to be sure, I will also check that the WordPress site is not displaying correctly after the change.
I see, so this time you'll be using a script to perform the replacements.
Yes, that is correct. This script only handles replacements, but my SQLens functionality is more than sufficient for database exports and imports. And have you ever had this experience? For example, when you change a theme, sometimes the subdescription does not update properly. In such cases, if you have learned these skills, you will be able to handle it yourself. Now, I will briefly explain the functionality of the script. Here are a few things you will need to prepare. To use this program, Python is required. Additionally, you will need to install some necessary packages, but this process is not particularly difficult. To connect to the database from another PC, make sure to grant the user permission for external access. Now, let us go ahead and perform the replacement. Yes, the replacement is now complete. Let us take a look at the detailed log that was generated.
Is the reason this script is faster than WP-CLI because it directly connects to and operates on the database?
Yes, that is correct. It does not go through WordPress's application there. As you can see, the WordPress site is functioning normally as well. Be sure to back up your database using MySQL's functionality before performing any replacements. Well then, everyone, see you next time. Goodbye.